New harrowing claims from the sexual assault lawsuit filed against singer P. Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs.
Sean Diddy Combs, renowned for his prowess as a producer, entrepreneur, and iconic figure in hip-hop, Combs has been a fixture in the industry for decades. However, behind the facade of success, recent events have cast a shadow over his legacy. Allegations of assaulting and rape have thrust Combs into a realm of controversy, challenging the very narrative that once celebrated him. Join us as we delve into the intricate layers of a man whose fame now contends with the troubling. In the action, the singer claims that Mr. Combs, often known as Puff Daddy or Diddy, subjected her to a decade-long pattern of control and abuse. The charges were vehemently refuted by Mr. Combs. Sean Combs, the producer and music entrepreneur who has been one of hip-hop's most well-known names for decades, was sued in federal court on Thursday by Cassie, an R&B singer who was once signed to his label, who accused Mr. Combs of rape and repeated physical abuse over a decade. Cassie, whose real name is Ventura, and who had long been Mr. Combs's romantic partner, claims in the suit that not long after they met in 2005, when she was 19, he began a pattern of control and abuse that included plying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. According to the claim, at the end of their relationship in 2018, Mr. Combs forced his way into her home and assaulted her. After years in silence and darkness, she said in a statement, "I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships." Mr. Combs's lawyer, Ben Brafman, responded, saying, "Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. Mr. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's relentless demand of $30 million, accompanied by the threat of writing a negative book about their relationship, which has been categorically refused as blatant blackmail. Ms. Ventura has now resorted to launching a lawsuit replete with unsubstantiated and egregious allegations in an attempt to smear Mr. Combs's character and collect a payoff." Ms. Ventura's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, said the parties had communicated before the suit was filed. Mr. Combs offered Ms. Ventura 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of this lawsuit, stated Mr. Combs. She rejected his efforts. Ms. Ventura's complaint is the most recent in a string of sexual assault civil suits filed recently against renowned men in the music industry, including Aerosmith's Steven Tyler, CEO L.A. Reid, and Neil Portnow, the former president of the Grammy Awards organization. Mr. Combs, 54, founded Bad Boy Records in 1993 and quickly rose to prominence as a key role in the commercialization of hip-hop, working with performers such as Notorious B.I.G. and Mary J. Blige. His net worth has been reported to be as high as $1 billion, and Mr. Combs's yearly profits were assessed last year at $90 million, owing partly to his former partnership in Ciroc, a liquor brand held by the alcohol conglomerate Diageo. Mr. Combs, also known as Puff Daddy, Diddy, and Love throughout his career, is arguably the most prominent music executive of his generation. However, the suit portrays Mr. Combs as a violent guy who, in addition to regularly beating Ms. Ventura, wanted her to carry his revolver in her handbag, and the suit implies that he was responsible for blowing up a rival suitor's automobile. According to the claim, Mr. Combs once dangled a friend of Ms. Ventura over a 17th-floor hotel balcony. The court documents allege that others who worked with Mr. Combs assisted him in controlling Ms. Ventura, at times by threatening her with retribution, such as silencing her music if she did not heed his directions, or by assisting in the concealment of his activities. Mr. Combs and several of his affiliated firms are named as defendants in the suit, which seeks unspecified damages. According to Ms. Ventura's suit, she was quickly drawn by Mr. Combs's jet-set lifestyle after meeting him and signing with Bad Boy Records, which published her debut album in 2006. According to the claim, he soon proceeded to exercise an excessive level of control over her life. He paid for her car, apartments, and clothing, and even had access to her personal medical data, in addition to directing her career. According to the suit, the results of an MRI scan she had, for memory loss caused by drug use or a beating she said she received from Mr. Combs, were sent straight to Mr. Combs. According to the lawsuit, Mr. Combs allegedly gave Ms. Ventura copious amounts of drugs, including ecstasy and ketamine, and urged her to consume them. and he frequently grew violent, beating her multiple times each year. According to the lawsuit, Ms. Ventura never went to the police because she was afraid it would merely offer Mr. Combs another opportunity to attack her. According to the claim, Mr. Combs became upset when he noticed Ms. Ventura chatting to another talent agent in Los Angeles in 2009, then shoved her into a car and repeatedly kicked her in the face, causing her to bleed. According to the lawsuit, Mr. Combs then had his staff transport her to a hotel room for a week of rest. According to the lawsuit, she requested to return home to her parents, but Mr. Combs refused. Ms. Ventura felt that saying no to Mr. Combs would cost her something: her family, her friends, her career, or even her life. Despite her attempts to leave Mr. Combs, the suit claims he dispatched his workers to entice her back. Ms. Ventura claims that in early 2012, Mr. Combs became so enraged over her dating the musician Kid Cudi that he threatened to blow up the rapper's automobile, according to court documents. Around that time, according to the lawsuit, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. Kid Cudi corroborated Ms. Ventura's report of his automobile exploding through a representative. According to the claim, Mr. Combs began coercing Ms. Ventura to engage in a fantasy of his called voyeurism, in which she was directed to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes, while Mr. Combs watched, masturbated, snapped pictures, and made video. Mr. Combs referred to these encounters as freak-offs, which entailed costumes such as masquerade masks and lingerie, according to the suit. They went on for years, taking place in high-end hotels across the country and in Mr. Combs' houses. According to the lawsuit, he directed Ms. Ventura to browse escort service websites for male sex workers. Ms. Ventura's suit claims that she took drugs at these parties because they allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. According to the lawsuit, Ms. Ventura would delete films captured on her phone from similar encounters, but Mr. Combs told her he still had access to those videos and once forced her to watch a video she believed she had destroyed on a flight. According to the lawsuit, Ms. Ventura became a victim of sex trafficking as a result of numerous sexual encounters in different places. Mr. Combs is also accused of sexual battery, sexual assault, and violating New York City's gender-motivated violence ordinance, according to the lawsuit. Ms. Ventura's claim included multiple descriptions of her failed attempts to escape Mr. Combs' control. In one instance, the suit claims that during a freak-out at a Los Angeles hotel in 2016, an inebriated Mr. Combs hit Ms. Ventura in the face, leaving her with a black eye. He fell asleep, and she attempted to leave the room, but Mr. Combs awoke and followed her into the hallway, where he smashed glass vases at her, smashing glass throughout the corridor, according to the court filing. The incident was captured on the hotel's security cameras, but according to the lawsuit, Mr. Combs paid the hotel $50,000 for the film. According to the court statement, when Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura met for dinner in 2018, he forced his way into her apartment and assaulted her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. According to the suit, she then left him for good. Ms. Ventura married fitness trainer Alex Fine the following year and has 2 small children. Her relationship with Bad Boy ended in 2019, according to the allegation. If you found our exploration into Sean Diddy Combs' story interesting, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications. Stay tuned with the latest updates from the dynamic world of music and jail. Don't miss a beat.